Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to still continue to go get your breakfast and settle down. But in order to keep on schedule, I just want to get some housekeeping out of the way. First of all, I want to say good morning. My name is Charles Wagner. I'm the chair of the B'nai Brith Estates and Trust Group. I want to welcome you to this year's seminar on trust troubles, litigation, tax, and ethical issues. We'll be starting shortly. In the meantime, I want to make sure you have the information materials at your fingertips that you're going to need to fully benefit from today's seminar. When you registered, you should have all received a binder. In that binder is a cover letter setting out the fact scenario. You'll see Schedule A is your certificate of attendance outlining your entitlement to professionalism hours. That's for the lawyers. Schedule B is for the accountants. It's your certificate. You'll see a schedule of events for today. We're a tad behind, but hopefully we'll catch up. Tab 1 is a profile of our sponsors. Tabs 3 to 17 are the papers prepared for the seminar. You will also see a Greg Sidlowski flash drive. This has electronic copies of all the materials you're provided for today. I'd like you to note that many of the papers have second authors, and in the footnotes, the authors are thanking the juniors and the students who assisted them in preparing these papers. These young people are the ones who you will be seeing presenting at the podium tomorrow, and I suggest you take note of them today. Based on the fact scenario, which I will go into shortly, the methodology of this CLE event is to have fun. Presenters role play in vignettes, and panel discussions follow to address the issues raised in the vignettes. The central figure in our fictional scenario is my partner, Brad Phillips. Vince, the video, please.
This is TV Ontario.
Remember, you said you'd help me out if you could. Well, my job is taking me far away. To move the children just wouldn't be good. If you will stay, you will come and stay. You'd be the best and a girl ever had.
I want you to know that he looks exactly the same today. What I'm going to do, the full factual scenario is going to be set out in the letter in the introduction, but I just want to go over the facts briefly in a summary way so you have an idea what is going on today. Dear Aunt Agnes was created in 1985, and it's a sitcom where a divorced mom calls her aunt to come and take care of her children so she could take a job in another country. That part is all true. That was a real show on TV Ontario. In our fictional scenario, my partner, Brad Phillips, was 4 years old at the time, and the series ran for 13 years. Brad was the star of the show, and accordingly, he was paid a lot of money. He made $1 million an episode for a total of $130 million. Brad's dad was a stock whiz. He invested the money, and 130 turned into $300 million. In 2000, when Brad was 18 years old, his parents took him to a lawyer and accountant, and they said, Brad, we want you to concentrate on university. You've got to go to medical school and fulfill our dreams. So don't think about the money. We're going to put it in a trust. They went to a lawyer, a Ms. No Vice, and an accountant, and they gave advice to Brad and his parents. During the discussion, Brad's father turns to him and says, you have a sister, Giselle. She's suffering from cerebral palsy. Mom and I won't be here to take care of her the rest of our lives. This is going to fall on you. So she's also going to be a beneficiary of the trust. Now, in the letter, you'll see in the facts, we also put footnotes for you on the particulars of the Income Tax Act, and how the advice of the accountant and the lawyer might have been missteps. Now, Brad was a very bright 18-year-old, but the tax issues were over his head. He never bothered to review the draft documentation. He signed where the lawyers and the accountants told him to sign. And what did he care? He's a young kid. Don't we all listen to our moms and dads at the age of 18? So Brad grows up. He changes his mind. He wants to become a lawyer, and he joins Wagner Sidlowski. Recently, he asked his dad, "Dad, how much money is in the trust?" And his dad says, "None of your business." He says, "Dad, how come I haven't had any money in your trust? You haven't graduated medical school yet." "Dad, I'm a lawyer." He says, "Mind your own business." So Brad goes to his partner, Greg Sidlowski, and he gets advice, and they decide to commence a claim to bust the trust. Greg gets an order directing the father, Jeff, to pass his accounts, to pay a sum equal to the amount of the compensation he took of $9 million into court, and a declaration that the lawyer, Ms. Novice, or Novice for short, and the accountant, Amy Chur, were negligent. And he also sought damages against Novice and Amy Chur for $351 million. They go forward, and after discovery, they find out that all the money that Dad had at the beginning of the trust was lost. He invested in every loser that went down in the dot-com bust. There was virtually nothing left, just maybe $5 million. And when Brad was a little bit older, he met his wife at a Mensa conference in Toronto. She is a physicist at University in Boston. So Brad flies out every night to see her in Boston and stays there some weekends. One of the things we do as lawyers when we have tax issues like this, we often consult accountants, and that's what Brad did as well. He enlisted the assistance of Peter Weissman of Kadesky Tax, and they analyzed the trust, and they analyzed what opportunities they had to bust the trust. And again, the full particulars of the trust are found in your letter. And if I'm being somewhat summary, you'll forgive me, but I've only been given a few minutes for your introduction.